Hello, I'm back for Mrs. Quilty unboxing. This is box 6. It's quite heavy. Very heavy. I mean, I know fabric's heavy, but there's something in there. I'm hoping you can hear me a bit better. I've got a little microphone. Had a few people say that they were struggling to hear me. So let's see if this little setup works. Like I've said before, I am totally not professional at this. It's just me and my phone waffling. So you have to give a girl a little bit of leeway, because I really don't understand all this techie stuff and microphones and cameras and lighting and whatnot. And lighting I never get, because if you put one of these light things on that everyone has, all I see is it in my glasses. So it drives me insane. But anyway, we're not here for that, are we? We are here for Mrs. Quilty. So let's see what we've got in this month. Oh, I wonder what that is. Looks like some sort of travel type thing. Travel, like a travel kit thing. Let's see. Oh, it is. It's a travel sewing kit. Oh my goodness, I can't get my words out today. Well, that's quite handy. I always have something like this that I leave in my suitcase, because there is nothing worse than if you're on holiday and you go to put something on, you've torn it, or a button's come off or something like that. It's always handy to have a little backups thing. So that is great. I wouldn't necessarily keep it in my sewing room and use it every day, because I don't need to. I've got everything that's in there, I've got on proper size, and but I will go in and put that in my suitcase, and it will just live in my suitcase, and it's there if ever I need to sew a button on my husband's shirt, or if something's pinged or you've torn something, at least you can put a few stitches in to hold it until you can get home and do proper repairs. So that's that. This is obviously a clue for the fabrics. They look quite nice, don't they? We'll go through the book in a minute. Let's get to the fabrics. Look. I'm quite liking the look of these. I've got to start using this Mrs. Quilty. There's tons of it here. Right, let's see what we've got. That's very nice. I like that. I love florals anyway, but that's not traditional florals, is it? It's sort of almost like block printed. So rather than it looking very realistic, it's just like the outline shape. I really quite like that. That's a nice one. Lovely colours on that one too. Really like that. I think that's quite directional. Let's see, they're getting to know me now. Look, daisies. You know me and daisies, and I really like that colour actually. I have found getting this and having the surprise of what fabrics come every month, I have found that I'm broadening my colour palette, let's say. I'm a bit more amenable to brighter and bolder colours. I think I've always played it a bit safe. That's really pretty as well. I really like that. Now, I love polka dots, but look, random dots. I'm loving that, and I love the colour. White with teal, very nice. Oh, and another one, sort of like a deep corally colour with like a cream dot. But I like those random dots. They're very nice. Oh, we've got some plains now. Plain white, always useful. Pale orange, that's nice. We've got a very bold orange. And we've got, oh, look, that deep corally colour, corally red. And then, oh, another daisy print. I really like that. Is that a sort of, it's not actually a cream, it's more like a, it's got a slightly pinky tone. That's quite nice, but I like those colours. Really nice. So that's interesting. I like those fabrics. Don't they go nice together? Everything they send goes nice together. But I would never, actually, I would normally, if I walked into a fabric shop and saw that bundle sitting there, I'd think, oh yeah, that's nice. But I probably wouldn't buy it. But this is what I'm liking about this. It's broadening my horizons with fabric, because I know without a shadow of a doubt I can be very, very samey. I know what I like, I know what works, and I probably play it safe. But this is, you know, it's just dumped a range of fabric on me every month, and like, there you go, do something with it. And it is broadening my horizons a little bit. So that's another thing I like about getting the Mrs. Quilty box, aside from the fact that you know, it's a surprise every month. So excuse me, let's see what we've got. Hold on, what's this here? The power of sashing, small strips, big impact. Oh, okay, lots of talk about sashing, how to put it in, how to cut it accurately, how to sew it accurately, blah, blah, blah. More than just a separator. Yeah, that's nice to know. Choosing the perfect patterns for your quilt, colour and scale. That's quite nice. Look, because we're 6 months in your quilting journey so far. So you can see how, I suppose you can give yourself almost like a little progress report. Yeah. Right, what's inside your box? Fabric, gifts, the projects. Right, the fabric range is called, what is it called? Wildflower Whimsy. Don't know who makes it. I don't know if they design and print their own fabrics, because I've never noticed anything on the selvage. But yeah, it's called Wildflower Whimsy. I expect you probably could find it in quilt shops. I don't really have many quilt shops around here to go and see, and I don't go to many actually. So, but anyway, let's go through the projects. So main projects, we have project 1, block of the month, Northern Star. Project 2, a sewing machine cover. Project 3, a pocket wall organizer. Project 4, a cat hammock. They like cats, these people. And then your digital bonus is a fabric basket and a scissors case. Well, they're always handy and nice things to make. If you've never made any sort of bag or basket before, making one of those little fabric baskets is quite an achievable thing to do. Plus, you've got a nice little cute looking basket that you can store things in, and it just makes you feel that you can attempt a few more difficult things. I mean, it's all very well making quilts, they're flat, but when you make something 3D, it can be a bit nerve-wracking at first. So it's quite good that they put a few things in. But let me show you the project. So this is the block of the month, Northern Star. I like that. Try not to get any shine on the page. That's nice. That is nice. Let's get past all the instructions for that. Quite a lot of instructions for that. So, oh, okay. So every month they've given us a block of the month. And what they've done here is a sneak peek at your quilt, what your quilt could look like so far. They've made all the blocks and put them together. That's really quite nice. I hadn't actually thought about that because I've made all these blocks in my time or something similar. I didn't ever really look at making the blocks because I knew how to make them. And but actually seeing that, I don't like that I'm being honest, I don't like that they're all the different fabrics. They look nice in the fabrics, but for me, not all put together. I've got so many fat quarter stacks, I might go back and start making the blocks all out of the same range of fabric, so at least all the fabric is cohesive, and then I can make all the different blocks and put them together, and I think that will look quite nice actually. So it's quite nice to see that, and anyone fairly new, it would give them a bit of encouragement to, oh look, that's like half a quilt. That's good. Here is the sewing machine cover. Let's try and get the shine off that page. That's nice. That's nice. Now let me see if they make, now this is good because they've got a little chart, so you measure your machine. They show you how to measure your machine, the height and the width and the depth, including the hand wheel, so you can make it exactly to the size you need. And it's a good tip to learn how to measure things. You know, if you've got something and you want to make something for it, it's good to know how to measure it, how to add on a little bit extra so you've got a bit of room, your seam allowances, so you know what size to make each panel, and then how to put them together. So that's a good thing to learn. Lots of video tutorials for different aspects of that. And right, here is project 3, the pocket wall organizer. Always handy to have something to put bits and pieces in. And it's quite nice to have things hanging up in your sewing room that you've made, you know, that are useful to have on the walls. It's just a nice little thing to do, and it's useful. So what's the next one? Let me get the next one. The cat hammock there. Well, the cat looks quite happy in it. I don't do cats. I've always been a dog person. So we had cats when I was younger, but I think because we lived in London, everyone had a cat, because, you know, those old houses in London, mice would always get in. So everyone I knew had a cat just to catch the mice. So, but the cat you'd feed it in the morning and it would just disappear off for the day. And then it'd come back for its dinner and go to sleep. So you never really, sometimes you'd give it a stroke, but when it got fed up, you know, the claws would come out and it would scratch you. But yeah, their job really was just to catch mice. And most cats around here now live in the countryside, are sort of like semi-feral, and they're mice as ratters again. You know, that's why people have them. But see, for me, it's a dog, because dogs they just love being with you, and you build a relationship with the dog, and you can talk to your dog, and they do understand you. They really do. My dogs do anyway. But yeah, I've always been a dog person rather than a cat. But that cat looks quite happy in that hammock. I suppose if you've got children, you could almost make like a little hammock for toys, teddies, dollies, you know, something. You could even possibly put a drawstring around the hammock and make it into like one of those pull-up bags. So, you know, if you've got little boys like my grandson with all his toy cars, you can just chuck them all on it, lift it up, and it's pulled the bag up in the drawstring, scooped them all up, and they're all in one place, and then you can just put them on the side. So you could alter it. They've got a few projects that people have made that have sent photos in, which is quite nice. That is this month's block of the month, and they've done it out of the just the fabrics there, and put some borders on. So that looks quite nice. That would probably only make sort of like a crib sized quilt. But yes, nice. Another nice box. Like I said before, there was only one box that I was a little bit, when I opened it, and it's going to sound really funny me saying it because I'm wearing greens today, but there was a lot of dark greens in it, and I was a bit like, ooh, not sure. But I started using it for Tommy Turtle, which was one of the free patterns I got with Miss Quilty. So I've made Tommy's shell. So I need to, you sew a layer onto here, leave an opening and stuff the shell. So I need to do that. Then I can sew the closure up neatly. And then that's the shell done. And then all I have to do is do his head, arms, legs and his tail. You fold them in, you sew the last base on, turn it all through so that head, arms, legs and tail all pop out, and you can stuff them and sew any holes closed. And then I just got to put his eyes and mouth on the face. But so that's nearly done, but very busy time at the moment. And actually, look, I did say, look, it is, I'm wearing the same sort of colours, but that was the only box I opened and thought, oh, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, which is why I thought I'll use it on the one of the toy patterns and see. But and I don't know why, because I do like green, but I don't know, there was some very dark greens in there, and then there was some pale pinks, which, and they all look lovely together, and Tommy Turtle's going to look fabulous when he's finished. But there was just something that, it was the only box, and I think it was box 3, it was the only one that made me go, oh, I'm not sure. But every other one I've loved. Everything in there has been great. The fabric's great. I made a quilt and it all washed and tumble dried really well. So the fabric's great, the gifts are great, and there's some nice ideas in the project book. As time's moving on, we're month 6 now, and if you bought this as it is suggested that you're a beginner, by month 6 you should have learned a lot of skills. So it's quite nice to see they've got some bigger projects in there, and they're actually giving you the skills to, like the sewing machine cover, they're giving you the technique. So this is how you measure, this is how big you will make your pieces, and this is how you will sew it together. So you can custom make something any size. So that's quite nice to see that they're doing that as well. So the projects are moving on. The fabrics are all really good. So another box I am very, very happy with. So let me know what you've done with your fabrics. Have you done everything in the magazine? Have you made the block of the months? Are you putting them all together? I hadn't even thought of doing that, but now I've seen that, I just think, yeah, I might use my own fabric, so I know every bit of it will, every block will coordinate. It will be the same range of fabric, and I might make all their block of the months and just see and put together a quilt at the end of it. It'll only be like a throw size quilt, because I think all their blocks are a 12.5 inch, so finished sewn size will be a 12 inch. So if you've got 12 in a year, you'd have 3 across and 4 down. So 3 across would be 36, but you'd have a couple of inches of sashing, so 2, 4, 6, 8, another 8 inches of sashing. Then you could put a border around, so that could add a, so it could become a throw size, which would be quite nice actually. I hadn't thought, I mean, I got this because I kept seeing it pop up. Or any time I went online, Mrs. Quilty Box would pop up, and I just kept ignoring it, and I just thought, oh, is this one of those AI advert things, and you don't actually get what you pay for? But I saw a couple of people mention it, and I thought, do you know what? I'll just give it a go. You can cancel at any time. So I thought, there's no, and they were doing an offer that if you signed up, you got 14 toy patterns for free, which you could keep. So it was worth signing up just to have a look at those. But I've been really pleased. But because I am a quilter and I've been quilting for years and years and years, I haven't actually really looked at the projects in the book, which is bad of me, because if I'm sort of reviewing something, I should try them all out. So, but now I've seen that little page where it's put the blocks together, I was thinking, yeah, actually, I should do each of their blocks. Then I could see how well they're written. And I can give an honest review on that. And I'll also get a quilt at the end of it. So yeah, I think I'm going to go back and do that. I'm going to pick my fabrics first, and then I'm going to do that. But it won't be for a few weeks because I'm teaching at the retreat. I've been busy getting everything ready. I've been getting all the patterns ready. These are, it's for my class. This is all the different patterns I'm teaching. So I've been getting those ready. I've got to finish, they're all done, but I've got to finish bagging them up for each person so I can set out their tables. I've got to pack all my bags, and so I don't forget anything. I've got to take all my stock with me. So it's busy, busy, busy. And then I always come back completely shattered and need a bit of time to get over it. I think when I get back, I'm going to finish Tommy Turtle. And then next month, I get to start on my special commission, which I am really excited to do. So I want to get back from the retreat and I want to sort of clear the decks a bit, put everything away, give my room a big tidy because it's bedlam at the moment because I've been doing a bit of this and a bit of that and rushing around here, there and everywhere. So I want to come home, unpack everything, put it all away, sort my room so I've got clear decks, and then I can start my commission quilt, which I am really looking forward to, and I can't wait to show progress reports along the way. But anyway, that's me for now. That is Mrs. Quilty Box 6. I'm 6 months in. I'm still really happy with it. I'm in the UK. It costs me £30 a month, and I get the equivalent of 3 meters of fabric that are all really nice, and I get a free gift and I get some ideas. So for me, it is money well spent. Even if you don't do the projects there is, I don't know where I can buy fat quarters at 12, is it 12? Yes, 12 fat quarters for £30, because most fat quarters are about £3.50 each over here. So 10 would be 35, and so 42. So, you know, you are saving on fabric. And it's also quite a nice challenge to, it's a nice surprise to not know what you're going to get. And then it's a nice challenge to see it. And if it's a little bit out of the comfort zone, it's the challenge is, what am I going to do with it? What can I make with it? How can I use it? How can I show it off best? So, yeah, I'm loving it. I really am loving it. As always, please let me know your thoughts. Please show me if you've been getting Mrs. Quilty and you've made anything. Please show me what you're doing. I love to see what other people are working on. And I will be back very soon. And in the meantime, happy sewing and enjoy the summer. Speak to you soon. Bye.